Hello everybody, and welcome back to CNC RC Adventures. Today we are starting a new series on our channel, and we're calling this series Tiny Tire Tuesday. Every Tuesday we're going to release a video showcasing one particular tire and doing kind of an in-depth look at it. We're not going to be doing that in this episode. This one is more an episode 0, a Tiny Tire Tuesday teaser, if you will. In this video, we're talking about what the series is all about, how the series came to be, and, what to expect from this series. So first things first, why focus on tires? You see a lot of people asking, on Facebook groups, on Reddit, on different social media outlets, what should be the first thing that I upgrade on my microcrawler? The answer for me that I give them is always tires. Tires should always be your first upgrade. The stock tires, they're okay. They're not bad, especially considering some of the stock tires that were on vehicles many years ago, like in the 80s and 90s when I was really starting to first get into RC. These are much better than what we had back then. But a good set of tires can really transform your vehicle. Some of you may have seen our website where we have a tire list database. We try to keep that as up to date as possible. I'll put a link in the notes. Obviously, it's not possible to have every single tire because tires come out so quickly that, we just can't keep up, but we do the best we can. So having said that, we just figured it would be nice to take a little bit more in-depth look at some of the tires and see what makes them good, bad, whatever they are. But the tires they're a really good way to improve the performance of your vehicle without spending a lot of money. It's also a good way to improve the looks of your vehicle. For some people, the looks are a lot more important than the performance. We focus more on performance here, but a lot of people are really into the scale look and things like that, and that's, that tires are a good way to achieve that. So what we're going to do, I just grabbed a tire at random here. Each week we're going to take a tire and we're going to look at it. We're going to give you the specs of the tire, size, width, weight, talk about the compound, if we know it. Not all manufacturers offer different compounds, not all manufacturers release their compounds. But, we're going to give you as much detail as we can about it. And then we're going to mount them up and we're going to run them. And we're going to look at them. We're going to try them on different wheels too. We've got some RC four-wheel drive steel wheels, some Trial wheels, some Little Guy Racing Parts wheels, some Enduro wheels. If you've been around the hobby very long, you know that not every tire fits great on every single wheel. So I want to give you a good idea of, if you're looking at this particular tire, you might want to steer clear of these wheels, but mount them on these wheels instead. So, I'm not going to test them like on the course with every single wheel, but we're going to mount them up and show you, how they fit on each wheel. The vehicle that we're using to test, this is a SCX24 deadbolt. It's got some modifications. It's got high clearance links, new servo and steering link, new motor, and it's got, I think, 5mm hub extensions. I picked this vehicle because it's pretty similar to what I see most people running out there. There aren't too many people who run just a bone stock vehicle, and honestly, I don't even have one that's stock, and I don't know if I even have the parts to put one back to stock. This is the closest one to stock that I have. But, I feel like, with the clearance of the deadbolt, the extensions on the hubs, it'll be a good chance to let these tires perform, not worry about rubbing, not worry about the chassis getting hung up on stuff, to really see what the tires can do. I mean, there are, I do have some that are, pretty much every piece on it's modified. And something like this just kind of does good with every tire. So, you know, I think in that case, it's more about the chassis and the setup than it is the tire itself. So, you know, I think this is going to give us a good showcase of what the tire can and can't do. One more thing I wanted to talk about before we moved on to looking at the test course. When you look online and people are talking about tires, you'll see people say things like, you know, cut the lugs on the tires, run no foams, run smaller foams, run BBs in the tires, run 3D printed inserts. And all of those are, you know, really valid options and stuff that I encourage you to experiment with. But we're going to run the tires exactly as they come out of the package. So if they come with foams, we're going to run the foams. We're going to run, you know, the tread exactly like it is. We're not going to do anything different just because we want you to know what to expect when you buy these. We may at one point down the road take a tire that doesn't perform as good as we think it does, or that we think it should, and you know, use different techniques to try to make it perform better. But we'll see. We've got a lot of other tires to get through before that point, so we'll just see what happens. But all right, so now let's go take a look at our test course. So here is our test course, and I may rearrange it a little bit before we actually get into the videos, but you know, I wanted to kind of test it on different terrains and different, you know, surfaces, things like that. Rocks, obviously, because, you know, these are rock crawlers. I've got a section here made of expanding foam because, you know, a lot of people in their home course, they make out of foam. So I just, you know, want to give you an idea of how it's going to work on foam. We've got a little incline board back there that's right at 45 degrees. I'm not sure what this one is, but it's maybe not as steep. And then we got a sand pit over here. I see a lot of people asking, you know, what tires work good in sand. This is just play sand. So we're going to see, you know, what tires work in there. I didn't do mud. I know a lot of people talk about running theirs in mud. A couple reasons. One, it's indoors. There's not really a good way for me to do a muddy section in here. Two, it's a lot of cleanup, and I just I just don't want to do it. So, you know, I feel like, though, if you can find a tire that's going to work pretty good in sand and loose stuff like that, you'll probably find something that works pretty good in mud. But, so we're going to set up a little course. I've got gates I'm going to set up. So each time we test, it'll be as consistent as possible. I mean, you know, there may be things that change here and there. I may not run the exact same line every time, but I just wanted to give you an idea of how we're going to test them. What kind of thing we're going to do. We're going to do, you know, regular rock crawling. We're going to do incline, decline. I'm trying to work out a way to set up some kind of a side hill, but that may or may not happen. But so anyway, I hope that you have enjoyed this little teaser video showing you what we're going to do. The first actual tire video is going to start January 6th, first Tuesday in the new year. And then we're going to do one every Tuesday until we run out of tires. So I hope you guys look forward to that. Once we get started, if you have any comments, if you'd like to see us test things differently, please let me know. We are going to also, I should have said this earlier, we're going to do a tire rating system. We're going to do we're going to rate it on, you know, how it performs on the foam, how it performs on the rocks, how it performs in the sand. We're not going to do this is the best tire out there kind of thing, because honestly, the tire that performs the best today, by the time we edit the video, there may be a brand new one out there that performs even better. But we're just going to give it a number rating, you know, probably 1 through 5, you know, how good it does on each surface. And then you can kind of get an idea just looking at those numbers. You know, if you're running primarily on rocks, maybe you want to look towards this tire. If you're primarily running on a indoor foam course, maybe you want to look through that tire. If you run a lot of loose terrain, maybe this is the tire that you need. So we're gonna rate them, give them an overall rating, and then a rating on each individual surface. And then we're gonna add that to our tire website. And hopefully this will give you some good information and help you make good purchases when it comes to upgrades for your vehicle. So I hope this was informative. I hope this got you excited to see what we're getting ready to do. As excited as we are about it, we've got some big plans. I hope this is going to be really informative, really enjoyable to make. I hope you guys are going to like it. So please like and subscribe, and we will see you soon. So now let's take a look at how we're going to test these tires.